Yo, what is up guys? It's your boy Chicken Joe. Welcome back to another video. Do have to go and vacuum the car because it is a little dirty on the inside. Okay guys, so we made it to Quick Quack. But yeah, I do got to get this thing vacuumed. It's looking a little messy, so let's get straight to it.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, welcome back. I'm Chicken Joe. This is my 2005 Nissan 350Z. And today I am going to be talking about 5 things I don't like about the Z. Now don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful car. It's my first car. I have a lot of love for this car. So today I'm going to just say the 5 things I don't like about this car. But today I'm going to just be talking about 5 things I personally don't like. Half of these things are very fixable. Again, we are at a shady spot. This is where I filmed my last video. Anyways, starting it off with number 1 is gonna have to be the headlights. This is the DE, so these projectors are actually really small, and if you get the rev up or the HR, I'll put a picture on the screen, but the projectors are way bigger. And to me right now, the DE, I just don't really like the way the headlights sit, especially with the little yellow, you know, reflector strip. Now you can't buy these in a blacked out housing, but if you do, you're still gonna have that DE headlight style. And what some people do is they go with the blacked out, with the full black housing depot headlight, which costs around $400. That is gonna be my next route, but for right now, I just threw on that yellow tint just so it could give a little race car feel. I threw a little strip of vinyl I got off Amazon, and right now this is how it looks with the yellow vinyl. Now I have no issues that, you know, these are DE headlights. I just prefer the way the rev up and the HR headlights look. So anyways guys, enough about the headlights. Moving on to number 2 is gonna have to be under the car, and it's gonna have to be the exhaust. Okay, so second on the list is the exhaust, like I just said. Now, I love the way the exhaust sounds on these VQs, don't get me wrong. The only thing that I don't like about the exhaust is how low it sits. So if you actually go under the car, ignore all the holes. Now, since I do have a muffler delete, you know, the dude I went to, you know, it was a random ass shop, and the welds aren't that great. I know this is easily fixable because, you know, it's just the way the mechanic, or it's just the way that the shop welded it. They added this really weird custom little tiny white pipe up here. But if you notice, I'm only on lowering springs, and that dropped it about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. If you look down here, I probably have a fist of, almost more than a fist of clearance. But even if you go with the Tomei exhaust, which is something I want to go with, it's $1,000 exhaust, and it's all titanium, and it still hangs a little low. So now moving on to number 3 is gonna have to be the aftermarket parts for this car. Now don't get me wrong, I know, you know, a lot of aftermarket parts for other cars cost a lot of money, but today I'm specifically talking about the 350Z. So a lot of parts on this car is relatively expensive. These supposedly carbon fiber eyelids were $50 for both of them. This was $100, and this Nismo V3 looking wing, the OEM one goes for over $1,200, and this is a replica of that, and this costed me $350, which is pretty crazy because it's just a rep. And if you want to go with carbon fiber accents on this car, it's going to cost you some money. I know the door handles are about $50 to $100, as well as with the mirrors and carbon fiber fenders and hood, which is something I do plan on throwing on this car in the future. The fenders alone go for a rack for themselves, as well as the hood goes for another rack. So you're already looking at more than $3,000 just for cosmetics on this car. Now don't get me wrong, if you have the money, I think it's worth it. So I think now I've said 3 things: headlights, the exhaust hangs low, the parts. So now going into number 4 is actually going to be inside the car. Now coming in at number 4, it's not really a big issue, but it is the interior of this car. A few people told me about the interior, saying, oh, it's a little outdated, and this is a 2005. Now even with this and the rev up and the HR, the interiors are all the same. The rev up is basically the HR interior. Now don't get me wrong, the interior on this isn't that bad for a 2005. Like, you get what you buy basically. But I know on the HR or the rev up, they do have extra cup holders on the side, which this one just has the one on top. Excuse the mess, it has the one on top and 2 in the back. If you have those huge Dutch Bros large drinks in the back and you're shifting, your elbow kind of hits it. But honestly, if you want to make the interior a little better, I'd throw some bucket seats, a roll cage, a harness bar, You know, go with the little track style setup, add some carbon fiber pieces around, and you'll get a decent looking interior. And enough with that, moving on to number 5. Now coming in at number 5 is going to be all the little things that break on this car. So for instance, these door handles, if you try and open mine, it won't open. You have to grab it from the bottom. That's because when I replaced this one, I forgot to put the little gasket that goes in between. So if you want to open this, the driver's side, you have to pull it from the bottom. Because coming in with another little thing is these doors. Doors do close on themselves. Like as you can see here, I'm gonna give it the littlest tap. And they close. That's how heavy they are. That basically much does it. And I know a lot of these little problems are like really not problems at all. It's just things that I don't like about it personally. But a lot of those are fixable, like the headlights, the exhaust, you know, the interior. I could just add my own little spice to it. You know, obviously with the struts and door handles, they're always replaceable. But yeah guys, I think that's gonna do it for today's video. Like I said before, I am trying to produce a lot more content. You know, if I got some new viewers, subscribe, leave a like. You know, it's a pretty chill vibe out here. But yeah guys, that's gonna pretty much do it. It's been your boy Chicken Joe, and let's get it.